Welcome everybody to World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name is Maxwell and today's first replay is from the user Bloomdale. That is Bloomdale, and he's driving the IS on a standard battle on Himmelsdorf. IS being a tier 7 heavy tank for the Russians. And it seems to be that most of the time that you see the Himmelsdorf or Winter Himmelsdorf map that it is in fact an encounter battle. But unfortunately it takes a very early hit there and loses a chunk of hit points. Not really sure where that shell went through there. We go right on the very roof of his turret there. So a little bit unlucky there from Bloomdale, getting off to a bad start. Taking almost 300 hit points right at the start of the battle. That might have been a speculative shot, just firing straight up that street on the off chance that you could hit somebody, because it doesn't look like they've got any advanced scouts in the area. So Bloomdale going to decide to head across to the right hand side here. I'm going to set up on the Banana Road. Finds a Tiger and a Panzer Soufflé. Gets a great shot there. Does a good chunk of damage to that tank destroyer. Its armor is like paper, but it does have a pretty damn good cannon on that one, so you do have to be careful and let his gun focus right in on the tiny part of the tank that he could see. Unfortunately that one was only a critical hit. I'm going to try and relocate here, get some shots through these windows as you saw Panzer 4H moving around in the background there. If anybody decides to fall off, he may be able to sneak a shot through the window. Ooh, very unlucky there. Was having a predictive shot at the Panzer 4H, but he decided just to stop just as he fired his cannon there, and that one just missed. So looks like all they have here now is this Tiger P and Panzer 4H. The Soufflé has relocated, so Bloomdale gonna now decide to push straight down this road. They don't have superior numbers or superior firepower, but he does have 2 tank destroyers behind him. So if either of these tanks pop out to try and stop him making this run, those tank destroyers should be able to punish these tanks here. As you can see, that AMX-12T has used this opportunity to also make a move. Everybody turning to face him. For some reason, light tank not that massive of a threat, but the Bloomdale at least coming up and trying to offer some support to his ally. Unfortunately, just the mass weight of tanks that he was trying to take on was just too great. Gets a great roll on the back of that Panzer 4H now. You're going to see if he can take him out. But got to be careful of the E25 in the background. So if you start taking damage from an E25, you're going to have a pretty bad day. Does get one good hit on the E25 for no damage in return. He's in a great side-scraping position. And the E25 knows that, so he advances forwards now. But then he spots out the AT-15 and thinks, oh god, I have made a series of bad decisions leading up to this point. And he takes cover behind the Tiger P's corpse. Bloomdale does have a shot, but it's a very bad shot, so he doesn't want to take this one. Does wait till he drops back, and it's another great chunk of damage through him, and his allies are just going to finish off the E25 now. Got to wait for his cannon to reload, because it has got a decent reload on it. It is the 122mm cannon. Pretty much the same one that the KV-1S gets, but it is a different model number because it does have a better reload speed. Oh, was trying to fire out the Dickermax there, but the AT-15 just takes him out beforehand. Bloomdale going to use this opportunity to now flank around behind the VK and this Tiger 1. See, the Tiger 1 fully committed to fighting those tank destroyers in front of him, but you do have to be aware there is 2 tanks sniping from the hill there. The Allies have lost the battle for the hill. Bloomdale going to come around the back now and gets a great shot on this VK-3002M. He is taking hits from that left-hand side from the hill, though. This VK is just stubbornly trying to shoot the tank destroyers, though, rather than paying attention to the threat that's right in front of him. And Bloomdale going to pop himself out now and try and take out one of these tanks. Decides to fire at the IS, I think that was there, rather than the 4-hit point Black Prince. A little bit unfortunate that he just had to rush that shot in order to make sure that he didn't get hit in return. The Allied base is being captured now, so Bloomdale decides to spin himself around and go and see if he can do something about that. The guys from the hill are now coming down to try and affect this battle. Going to try and get a hit on this 3001P, who's way out in the open for some reason, even though he should be capping the base. And he just gets hit, and Bloomdale resets that cap. I think he may have tracked him. He has indeed, because the 3001 is still out in the open. Lets his gun focus all the way in and gets a very unlucky low roll there. He's been rolling no less than 350 normally, yet that one only scores 294 to leave him with 44 hit points. Could have easily taken him out with a single shot there if he'd rolled more around his average damage. He's now going to go and take on this M6, who should be paying attention down the road there to that Panzer Souffle and that IS. Rushed his shot there and just fails to penetrate the M6 heavy tank there. Gets alongside him. The M6 has a shot, but I don't think that does anything. And for some reason, the M6 only traversing his turret, forgetting that his tank can turn left and right as well, and just leaving all of his rear armour facing this IS. If he'd started to make a move and realised that the IS and Panzer Souffle weren't a threat anymore, he could have put his front armour on target. Not that if Bloomdale had taken his time, he would have had any trouble penetrating the front armour, but he would have had a lot more difficulty than penetrating the butter soft rear armour of this tank, and he takes him out because he had absolutely no idea how to turn a tank. Now he's just got to square off against this other IS, but he's got his ally coming around from behind him. We're trying to let his gun focus in. Does have a rushed shot at the IS there. Just missed that one, unfortunately. Doesn't want to take any damage in return. I'm not sure what cannon that other IS has. It may actually not be fully upgraded, as he only has 1,130 hit points. So he's probably got a lot less to fear than he thinks. Enemy IS going to start making a move now. Bloomdale going to try and get a shot, and does get a great shot through his side armour there, and he's going to be dueling with the allied IS. Bloomdale just says he's going to leave that one to his own devices, as the allied IS should be able to take him out no problem whatsoever. Does look like he is having a little bit of trouble here, as the enemy IS is still alive. Bloomdale, and I see another shot bounce there. Bloomdale not going to leave anything to chance. He decides that he is going to have to come in and try and do something about this other IS there, as they are just like two old women slapping each other with their purses. Nobody going down, but Bloomdale says, there you go, there is a cannon to your face, takes him out, picks up kill number 3. And that just leaves the Bishop here, who was almost certainly going to be covering off the base. Going to come around and try and find this guy. If he is on the run, though, Bishop is able to pull a decent turn of speed. So if he is on the run, it may be a little bit of a wild goose chase trying to track him down. They may just decide to go for the base capture instead, rather than trying to track a Bishop all across the map with only 2 of them. There he is, though, valiantly trying to defend the base. Bloomdale lets his gun close in, takes a hit in return, but it's nowhere near enough. He had switched to HE ammunition there, but it looks like that one failed to penetrate. And to be honest, with the hit points of the Bishop, I probably wouldn't have switched to HE anyway, just in case. But one more shot. Kill number 4. 4,500 points of damage, and a very, very well played game there by Bloomdale. So thank you very much for sending that replay in. Don't forget, guys, to stick around, because as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay is from the user Firekill98. That is Firekill98, and he's driving the IS-8 on a standard battle on the south coast. IS-8 being a tier 9 heavy tank for the Russians, although it plays a lot more like a medium tank than it does a heavy tank. Gets great speed and manoeuvrability, not a great hit point pool. As you can see, only 50 more hit points than its counterpart, the T-54. And it has fairly weak armour. Almost any tank can penetrate this thing frontally without really having to worry too much about weak spots. What it does have going for it, though, is a very, very strong cannon. If you take a look at the average damage and penetration there, damage of 440 and average penetration of 258. So this thing is able to wreck higher tiered, heavily armoured vehicles pretty easily. As you can see, Firekill going to be sticking with his pal in the T-54 here, his platoon mate over there. Going to be heading all the way to the right-hand flank. Got a good contingent of heavies behind him. And a lot of their team is tank destroyers, so you can imagine a lot of those camping on the ridge behind there. So this is going to be probably quite a difficult battle about to unfold, just because, like I said, they've got 5 tanks still pretty much in and around the cap circle. For some reason, a T-71 light tank as well camping. Maybe he got a little bit confused as the game loaded in and thought he was a tank destroyer. So as you can see, they have pushed up as far as the village here. Spots out a Lorraine 40-ton in the distance there. Has a speculative shot. Unfortunately, that one just about missed there. And he is almost certainly going to be spotted out here. There's no artillery in this match, so it should be a nice, even, fair fight. Setting up as the two IS-8s were making moves along the road towards that area. Looks like nobody really... There we go. The IS-8 finally moved around the bottom there, but he's right down on the lower road. Going to try and have a shot at the top of his turret. Unfortunately, that one missed as well. Couldn't really see very much of the IS-8 there, but he's got no other targets to shoot at, so he may as well just have a shot just in case. And if this IS-8 backs off a little bit, may be able to get something on him. But no, looks like he's just able to get behind the rock before Firekill is able to fire. There we go. Very, very unfortunate to only get a critical hit there. So he's missed 2 and landed 1 critical hit. Don't worry, the replay does heat up in a second. So a little bit unlucky. And IS-8 was in a fantastic position before, but he's in a pretty poor position now. Firekill's able to get a good hit onto him and receive nothing in return as that shot just about missed. He has switched his attention over to his right now, and Firekill, just going to focus on his front armor. Takes another great shot, and the T-54 takes him out from the left-hand side there. Now it's going to be an opportunity for the Allied team to push up. 1 IS-8 destroyed, 1 unaccounted for. There he is there, trying to cover off his ally in the IS-3, who's had to make a move forward. Object 268 spotted in the background, so got to be careful, although it looks like he's already taken a good chunk of damage. Should be able to get an easy shot there through the side of the turret of the IS-3. The IS-3 is really caught in a difficult position here. He can't fall back because he doesn't have the speed to do it. He can't push in closer to the rocks, and he can't advance forwards as well. Very unfortunate for Firekill only to take out the tracks there, but he's left them exposed and unable to retreat or advance. You can see he's taking his gun off target from the tanks down the road there. He's going to be trying to focus on Firekill here, but Firekill's just not giving him anything to shoot at. Playing the patient game. T-54 comes in from the side, misses his shot unfortunately, but as soon as the IS-3 takes his gun off target, Firekill pops himself around, takes another great shot at him, and this T-54 is playing a dangerous game. Luckily the IS-8 fell. Firekill coming in to offer some support. His gun's not quite loaded yet, so he's got to wait the time. There we go. Ammo racks him at the end there for 341 damage. Turret comes flying off, and that's his first kill now of the match with almost 2,000 points of damage done. So there is an Object 268 on the very north of the map there, but it looks like the E100 and the IS-3 are going to press him down. He didn't have very many hit points last time we saw him. In fact, he's still got the same 592 hit points. Firekill spots an FV, the Death Star, out there in the open, and thinks he's going to feast on him for a little while. Does spot a tree fall, and that is the T-62A, who isn't really paying attention, and he gets himself a good chunk of damage. It looks like he just wanted to absolutely YOLO for this IS-8 here, but it looks like it's going to be to his detriment. Continues to move and misses his shot because he's fully on the move. Firekill, I think, suffering from a little bit of lag, maybe. T-62A gets himself spun around. Does still take the damage from Firekill, and Firekill also takes some damage in return, but he's got much higher alpha. This FV going to be trying to come up the hill now, and the Object 263, but he gets equalized by the other FV, and Firekill's able to get a good hit onto the Object 263 here. This thing can be a little bit troll. When you look at that upper plate, it looks like it's going to be weakly armored because it is an open cab, but it's actually very, very thick armor. You see the enemy FV-183 raging in chat there about the Allied FV. I don't think the Death Star has any right to rage in a game like this, especially when it gets taken out by his counterpart. For some reason, the WZ-132 comes in and rams the Object 263. Don't know if the 263 played that perfectly and just closed off his driving route. But the problem the 263 has here is the IS-8 has the higher ground, so every shot he puts in is going to go through that much weaker top armor of the Object 263, so not able to utilize any of his armor whatsoever, and Firekill gets a huge 1,523 points of damage from that tank. Then the camping tank destroyers do take out the Object 268, and this leaves the game pretty much square at 11 kills to 10. See, there is an IS-7 pressuring the base from the left-hand side there, but the Allies should be able to have this one. We actually enter a bit of a lull here as people are trying to reposition and figure out what to do. You can see Firekill thinking about going and pressuring the base, but then he takes probably a quick look at his minimap, finds a T-30 here, does take a shot from somebody, and then just decides that the T-30 could one-shot him now, and the T-30 does have support behind him, and all of his allies are now back to base to defend against that IS-7 that was able to kill his counterpart. The tank destroyers are now going to try and deal with him. The T-71 coming in behind him. I think Firekill just wanted to regroup and be with his allies as he didn't really have the opportunity to push against the T-30 and an unknown tank in the background. Don't know if that was the Waffenträger or the E-75. So decides just to play the smart move and drop all the way back to his own base to be with his own tank destroyers. I'm going to just play this one cool. The T-30 was moving out of his base. You can almost guarantee that he is coming to pressure and try and attack, and indeed he was, and Firekill's able to get a nice chunk of damage onto him. T-71 going to be playing his role perfectly here and trying to spot out the enemy tanks as they come in. FV-183 has now come back around to this flank as the T-30 is still over here somewhere. T-71 calling for SOS, but he does have the support of his allies. Even if he does fall, if they can take out the T-30 here, it's going to be a fair trade. T-71 does have to be aware that he may die here. Looks like the T-30 has backed all the way off to the very edge of the town, back towards his own base. So it now looks like the allies are maybe going to have to go and attack. You can see the Jagdpanzer E-100's already made a move through the centre of the map there. Probably going to be squaring off against that E-75 soon. Firekill is also going to have to make a move as the T-30 is now vanquished and there's no other targets. Going to be coming up and offering some support to the Jagdpanzer E-100. Can leave his run a lot later as he is a lot faster than the Jagdpanzer. There is only an E-75 and a Waffenträger, although there's a full health E-75. I don't think he's AFK either, as he was spotted last in the centre of the town, and obviously when the battle just went south, he decided to head back to base and do some base defence. And the Waffenträger was last spotted there. He is still on the far right-hand side. Firekill gets a great shot through the armour of the E-75. Doesn't want to take a hit here. The Jagdpanzer E-100 just steams forward and offers some armour in front of the IS-8 here. He takes a shot from the E-75, but the E-75 failed to get any damage. Firekill trying to go for his track there so the Jagdpanzer E-100 can have a shot on him. Unfortunately, not quite able to land that shot. E-75 does have a decent length reload speed of about 11 seconds. Jagdpanzer E-100 takes some damage, but puts a huge amount of damage back onto the E-75. Firekill going to be pressuring him down here. Lines up the low plate, takes his shot and takes him out. And that is kill number 3. So now it just leaves this Waffenträger, who's last spotted up on the hill, but Firekill not taking any chances here. And wait for his gun to reload and wait for the T-71 to get some eyes on the Waffenträger. I don't think the T-71 really wants to move. He says affirmative, but he hasn't started moving yet. Just hoping that he hasn't made the long trek up this hill to go and offer some support to the E-75. Indeed he hasn't. He's cowering behind a rock. And it's just going to be a case of the allies are now going to close in on him. The Jagdpanzer E-100 going for a base capture just in case all of this goes horribly, horribly wrong. Waffenträger looking at the IS-8 of Firekill here. T-71 starts landing shots. Waffenträger takes his gun away from Firekill. Firekill seizes the opportunity, focuses his gun in, takes his shot, gets his damage. FV takes him out, and that is GG and the victory. So absolutely awesome game there from Firekill 98, picking himself up 6,000 points of damage and 3 kills, being pretty instrumental in his team's victory. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then send that into replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. Either attach the replay file itself to the email or just copy paste a link to the What Replay website into the email and I can take a look at that one for you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, then think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I'll catch you guys next time.